Hey guys, welcome back. So what we're looking at today is 7th grade Unit 5, Lesson 2, Changing Temperatures. So we are in a new workbook now, 7th grade Unit 5. So Lesson 2, Winter Temperatures. One winter day, the temperature in Houston is 8 degrees Celsius. Find the temperatures in these other cities. Explain or show your reasoning. In Orlando, it's 10 degrees warmer than it is in Houston. So we're going to add 10 to 8. So 8 plus 10 gives us 18 degrees Celsius for Orlando. In Salt Lake City, it's 8 degrees colder than it is in Houston. So we have 8 minus 8, which is going to give us 0 degrees Celsius. In Minneapolis, it's 20 degrees colder than it is in Houston. So we have 8 minus 20, which is going to give us a negative 12 degrees Celsius for Minneapolis. And in Fairbanks, it's 10 degrees colder than it is in Minneapolis. So we're taking that negative 12 that we just found, and we're subtracting another 10 from it. So we're going to end up at negative 22 degrees Celsius. So Fairbanks, Alaska is very, very cold. So write an addition equation that represents the relationship between the temperature in Houston and the temperature in Fairbanks. So basically, we'd take 8 plus negative 20 plus the additional negative 10 to get the negative 22 degrees Celsius. So we can always think about decreasing by adding by a negative or by just subtracting it. So either way works for that. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we are also going to look at lesson 3 today. 3 is looking at changing elevation. So cliffs and caves. A mountaineer is climbing on a cliff. She is 400 feet above the ground. If she climbs up, this will be a positive change. If she climbs down, this will be a negative change. So she's at her starting elevation, 400, change in feet. She went up 300, so that means she's at a positive 700 feet. Then starting elevation 400, she went 150 down. So 450 minus 150, or 400 minus 150 would be a positive 200 feet still. 400, she went down 400, so she's at 0 feet. And how did we get from 400 down to just positive 50? Well, we would have went down 350. Write an addition equation and draw a number line diagram for B. Include the starting elevation, change, and final elevation. So we have the 400 plus the negative 150 equals 250. So that would be our equation. So using the additive inverse, which just means adding by additive inverses make 0. So giving us that opposite there. All right, a spelunker is down in a cave next to the cliff. If she climbs down deeper into the cave, this will be a negative change. If she climbs up, whether inside the cave or out of the cave and up the cliff, this will be a positive change. Complete the table. So we're at negative 200. She went down another 150, so she's going to be at negative 350. At negative 200, she went up 100, so that'd be at a negative 100. Negative 200, she went up 200, so she's at 0, so she's at ground level now. Negative 200, she went up to 50, so that means she's 50 above ground now. So she started going up the cliff. And then negative 200, and somehow we ended up all the way down at negative 500, so that means we went 300 down. So negative is your key word for this lesson, negative. All right, so write an equation representing the diagram for C. So negative 200 plus 200 equals 0. So that would be our equation there. So showing that we can go from our negative 200, we add 200 to get to 0. What does the expression negative 75 plus 100 tell us about the spelunker? What does the value of the expression tell us? So it means that they are at, can't write. They are at negative 75 feet down elevation. Then they went up 100 feet. So they are 25 feet above the cave. So showing that we can go from that negative to a positive just means that we're going up above the land. We're going up the cliff instead of just getting to that nice flat sea level value. All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.